Hey Javier, how you doing? So I was reading through this. Now I've already supplied a critique for Kendall, so you definitely want to take a look at that. I think I also supplied comments for Nicola. So I want you to take a look at those in conjunction with yours, and take a look at as many of these critiques in this forum as you can, as there will all have information that'll be applicable to your work. Now, I think you guys are off to a great start because you're already showing. Now, I mentioned this to Kendall. Now, I have a feeling that somebody in your group has already read or gone through the user-centered design process presented by this IDEO toolkit, Field Guide to Human-Centered Design. This is available for download right over here in Week 5 presentation, specifically at the bottom of the page. This first link, ideo.com Human-Centered Design Toolkit, that'll take you to a site where you can download this actual presentation. So once you read this, it'll give you a really great understanding of the human-centered design process in comparison to a design process. The difference is this: in a design process, basically what we're doing is in a design process, we would just design the kiosk, right? That would be our task, is we're going to design a kiosk. So we would do our research and design accordingly. In human-centered design, we have to take it a step further. We have to decipher the inherent problem. What is the problem that's causing the need for the redesign or for design of a kiosk? Well, we would do research, we dig deep, and we start uncovering things to find out inherent issues with the industry. So in this example for the car configurator, we find out that the car buying process can be a really stressful process because of high pressure salespeople and dealerships that don't have the customer's best interest in mind. So basically, they just want you to spend as much money on a car as you possibly can without really keeping in mind your best interest. So basically, that's the problem. So the problem isn't designing a kiosk. The problem is addressing inherent issues with the current purchasing process. So basically what you could do is, if you guys have already started this user design thinking, because you're talking about taking this a step further, add headphones, how much the towing capacity is, being able to ask direct questions to the kiosk that will answer your questions. My recommendation is to add a simulator. This way you can sit down, so you start doing your kiosk, you start configuring your car, you got your colors, your tires, etc., you got what it looks like, send that information to a driving simulator, and the driving simulator will load that car in, and you can drive it based on your choices. Then you can change those choices, okay? You have your headphones on, your virtual reality goggles, you can ask questions. What is the towing capacity of this particular model, right? And in the meantime, you're driving the test drive. You can change the road conditions. You can change the test drive to indicate what the car would drive like in 10 years after it's used. You can add financial calculators to determine resale values in 10 years or whatever, or the total percentage of your total income spent on your car payment based on your down payment, etc., things like that. So that's what I'm pushing in this particular assignment, is to really, really push this as far as you possibly can, with the intent of rectifying or at least addressing a lot of the inherent issues with the current situation, the current process of buying a car. Okay, run this by friends, family, co-workers, anybody you know who has purchased a car. Ask them what their experience is. To ask them here's my idea. I want to configure it. I want to change the way people buy cars. Here's my configurator. It leads to it's hooked up to a simulator. So this is what we do. We configure the car. We can simulate the car. We can drive the car in the simulator. Then all we have to do is go to present our final readout and to the finance person, say, this is the car I'd like to order. I need to get it financed, right? And that is the way that's the difference between design thinking and deep design a design process and a human-centered design process. Remember, we're after solving bigger issues. This is to make the quality of life better, as opposed to simply designing a kiosk. Hope that makes sense. If not, let me know. I'll try to clarify. But let's take that information back to your group, start compiling ideas, and let's work from there. All right, great job. Thank you very much.